Listen, all I wanted to do is make tabletop gaming accessories and provide for my family. But unfortunately, there are people out there who want to make other people's lives needlessly difficult, all in the name of greed. In late 2023, I received a message from Dungeons Co LLC on Etsy. You can watch the full breakdown of that video. I'll post a link to it in the description. But long story short, the owner of Dungeons Co LLC, John, messaged me and pretended to be a lawyer,
allegedly,
and enforce a trademark that he had pending. Now, the trademark was for the design of this box. Now, I'm quite familiar with bullshit trademark and copyright claims. I ran a wedding photography and videography business for quite a few years and received them quite regularly, where people would claim that the photos I took were actually theirs. So I did a little digging. I found the lawyer he was pretending to be and alerted him that his identity was being stolen and that it was being used to intimidate people on Etsy. I also reported Dungeons Co LLC to Etsy, which Etsy has not done anything about. Apparently, Etsy is okay with people messaging other members of their platform and pretending to be a lawyer and muscle them out. They don't care about that at all. That's fine. Now, I made a video about this and posted it. Now, the purpose of that video was to be a lamppost, so that if someone else had this happen to them from Dungeons Co LLC, they could, do a quick Google search and hopefully that video would pop up and they would know that it was bullshit, that John was just intimidating them, trying to get them to remove from the platform. Now, I thought I took it pretty easy on John. I didn't report him to the Arizona Secretary of State or sheriff or anyone to try and get him in any criminal trouble. I didn't try to take it to any courts or anything. I made the video, and when he came crying to me afterwards saying that people were harassing him, I even took the video down for a little while, but I did put it back up after it died down a little bit because I wanted that lamppost there for other people. But recently, it's come to my attention that John has continued doing that.
Some motherfucker's still trying to ice skate up here.
And he even did it after he tried it with me, and I slapped his wrist and told him to back off. So this was something that John kept trying to do.
Allegedly.
Now, back in November, John received a trademark for the term Hero Vault. He received the trademark on the 12th of November, 2024. And on the 14th of November, he filed through Etsy without messaging me first that 2 days before this, he received a trademark for the term Hero Vault, which I used to market almost all of my vaults with. Through Etsy's trademark infringement process, he took down all of my listings. Now, this had several negative consequences for me. The smallest of which was now I had to spend several hours of my day putting my listings back up on Etsy and editing out that term Hero Vault so that they would stay up on Etsy. Now, doesn't seem like a huge deal, but it's in the middle of Christmas rush, and I would have much rather stayed here in my shop working to get products out to customers who had purchased them. But the second of which was now it made my account not in good standing with Etsy. And additionally, all of those listings that were taken down, if you purchased from that listing and you contacted me through Etsy's support for that listing, Etsy automatically refunded you. So if the product hadn't shipped yet and you needed an update, or it shipped and it was hung up in shipping, like because of the strike with Canada Post, or maybe you just had a question about the product itself, if you contacted me, Etsy automatically refunded you everything. And you did not have to return the product if it was shipped to get that refund. This happened to me for each of those occasions I mentioned to you. Someone wanted an update on their product that hadn't shipped yet, even though it was before the ship date. Someone in Canada was inquiring about the slowdown of their arriving package because of to see if I could ship it another way, even though it had already shipped. And someone had a question about their product. I don't know what that question was because all they said was, hey, I have a question, and that's all I can see. I can't even message them back. Etsy stepped in, refunded that. I lost close to $1,000 in refunded cash, the amount it takes to make the product, and shipping. Now, John's trademark endangered my ability to provide for my family and my livelihood. Now, John's abuse of the trademark system has endangered my livelihood and my ability to provide for my family. It is just me that comes out here every day and makes these dice vaults. It is just me that comes out and packages everything every day and ships them out. I don't have anyone that helps me besides my wife when it comes to convention season. And she only comes and helps sit in the booth and sell product there. She doesn't help me box up or make anything. It's just me. She has her own job that she has to work. So John taking down my listings has hindered my ability. His abuse of the trademark system has hindered my ability to provide for my family. And I'm not taking that lightly. Now, I call it trademark abuse because part of the trademark system, when you're applying for a trademark, part of that is by doing a search to find out if it's a term in general use or not. And a 5-minute Google search will show that the term Hero Vault has been used for at least a decade to refer to tabletop miniature storage of some kind, either a single miniature storage or a large collection storage. It's been used by some of the bigger players in the space like Wormwood Gaming and dozens of other Etsy sellers. The earliest I could find was back in 2012. He either didn't do his due diligence or he's relying on the fact that most of the people he's going to press this claim against can't fight his trademark. They can't afford it. It is expensive to counter a trademark. Just to file the paperwork alone costs $600. And that is if I sat down and did all the paperwork and legwork myself. $600. And because of that, because I'm not an expert in that, it might not get approved. It might not work. I might forget to dot an I or cross a T. That means I have to refile again, which is another $600. So I've hired a lawyer to help me combat this. And in his opinion, it is also a generic term and he's abusing the system. He's hoping that a small shop will bow to him and he can push them out of the market. He can leverage his ability to trademark a word and hopefully maybe scare them away from Etsy, or at least make it so that they can't use commonly used search terms to look for their product on Etsy. He's hoping that this financial barrier protects him in some way. Additionally, Dungeons Co LLC didn't even use the term Hero Vault around the time that they filed for the trademark. If you look on their website, it didn't show up till after that. Well after I was actually using it on my own products first. Now, so where do I go from here? Well, John,
you just brought piss to a shit fight, you little...
You messed with my livelihood and my ability to provide for my family, so the kid gloves are coming off. First, I'm going to explore any options I have to be able to pursue this in a criminal manner for your ability, not for the trademark thing, but for pretending to be a lawyer and defrauding me. Because when he pretended to be a lawyer, not only did he tell me I have to remove my listings, he told me he wanted an accounting of all the sales I made on those listings. So either A, he wanted the money I made, or B, he wanted to blackmail me under the fear that I would have to give him money I didn't have at the time.
Allegedly.
So I'm going to see if there's any criminal charges that I can pursue through that. Because I've learned that you cannot give mercy to someone who messes with your livelihood, because they're not just going to go away. They're going to come back. They're going to keep messing with you. Now, how can you help? Well, first, you can share this video. You can show other people what some of these dark underbelly of Etsy looks like, how some of these other sellers are using underhanded tactics to try and push smaller hobbyists and businesses out of the space. And the Etsy doesn't care when someone's pretending to be a lawyer that they're not. Also, if you need any dice or other tabletop gaming accessories, visit my website, magnicraftworks.com. I know it's a bit cheesy to put a plug for my own website in this part where I'm just whining about someone else. It makes it seem that that's the only reason I'm making the video. But it's not. I want people to be aware of what Dungeons Co LLC is doing to other small makers in the space. But it is expensive to do. It's not cheap, like I said, to hire a lawyer. So if you need any gaming accessories or dice, just give my shop a look. And if you like something, go ahead and buy it. Every little bit helps. MagniCraftworks.com. So I was in the middle of editing that video about the trademark with Dungeons Co LLC when I went into the USPTO website to pull down some screenshots for the video. I saw that Dungeons Co actually has another trademark that they're applying for this vault, but this time it is for that simple design, the same. Well, let me show you the trademark itself. It's the same design right here, one that you could find probably all over Etsy with dozens of other people making, something that I've made for years. So I filed a notice of opposition on this trademark, but this is just another example of the abuse, trademark abuse that Dungeon Co's trying to do. They're taking a generic design like this, and they're going to use that to leverage the Etsy opposition or their competition off of Etsy. So I filed the notice of opposition. That cost me $150 just to file. You know, so it does get expensive to fight this trademark abuse by Dungeons Co. And I just want to say, I don't have a problem with getting a trademark. If you have if he had the name, like that Dungeons box trademark that he has, I don't have a problem with that because that's the name of the product. And I didn't really see it used in common as a generic term before that. So I don't have a problem with trademarking stuff like that. I have a problem with trademarking generic things like the design of this box that has been used by a lot of people on Etsy for years. And he's going to abuse that system to try and push off his competition. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Maybe next time I'll actually get around to showing how I make some of this stuff like I've been planning to do for several years now.